In Quran 7:12, Allah asked, what prevented you, and this is the verse, from prostrating when I commanded you? He replied, I am better than he is. You created me from fire and him from clay. Now, this I am better than him. You will see this manifest almost in a symbolic way in elements of the UFO phenomenon too, when it shows itself to be better than human beings. But we'll get to that as we go along. But it's an interesting point to keep in mind. And then in 1539, we read, Satan responded, my Lord, for allowing me to stray, I will surely tempt them on earth and mislead them all together. So again, here, Satan or Shaitan uh, is highlighting his objective, that he wants to mislead human beings throughout the ages now. That this is his objective. He wants to misguide human beings, take human beings away from their purpose of existence, which we saw a few slides ago, which is to worship God. So not only is he and his like not doing this, but they want others not to do this as well. They want others to stray away from the purpose of life, the ultimate objective of life, which is to know God and to worship him. So that was a bit about the jinn. So a couple of things just in summary. Number one, they are a creation of God. They have communities. Their essence, or they are created unlike human beings from a smokeless fire. Now, like I said, there's many speculations in regards to this. Possibly you can say a plasma-based life form, and that would be an interesting speculation because I probably shouldn't get into it here, but for those that are studying physics, uh, they will probably have ideas going off in their mind. Like, okay, plasma-based life form, that's very interesting. How that may relate to certain things that we see or have observed about the UFO phenomenon. But regardless, that's a side point. They're made from a smokeless fire. Their objective, at least the evil amongst them, their objective is to misguide human beings till the day of judgment. Shaitan, their leader, Iblis, who disobeyed God, his primary objective is to misguide humanity. And if you go further, their ways are exposed in the Quran. The ways they will try to deceive human beings are exposed. God continuously tells us to protect ourselves and seek refuge in him from the accursed one, Satan, from his whispers, because he whispers into the minds of human beings. He whispers into the breasts of human beings. He inclines humans to do bad and evil, right? So this is their fundamental, or this is his fundamental objective, and the ones that follow him amongst the jinn. So the UFO and the jinn, a comparative analysis or a comparative study of the two. And here I'm only going to briefly mention a couple of categories, the four I've outlined at the beginning. And there's many more aspects to this, but I think these four are quite sufficient in presenting or proposing this hypothesis that the jinn are most likely behind this modern day UFO phenomenon. So let's look at the first one: presentation and interaction. Now, let's look at what's been reported briefly when it comes to the UFOs. Orbs. Okay, this is a very common presentation of the UFO phenomenon. Balls of light, different colored balls of light that are seen in the sky, that are seen on ground level, that are seen in people's homes, balls that morph into different shapes. Uh, Interestingly, when humans have come into contact with these, they have left or done damage to human beings, physical damage. These things have been reported as well. The other thing is metallic craft. So some people have seen craft of different shapes and sizes, squares, odd shapes that you wouldn't expect, according to our understanding of physics and propulsion, to be able to remain up in the sky. So squares, spheres, triangles, rectangles, odd shapes like this. And sometimes these craft are said to morph into different shapes, strangely. Um, at other times, people have reported seeing these things. They've taken pictures of them, but when they've looked at the picture later on, it's not appeared as what they've actually seen. But what appears is something totally different on the image. So very strange things going on with these observations. And as far as the beings are concerned, there are again appearance of many different beings. You've got the typical greys. Some people claim reptilian type beings. Some people claim all sorts of strange looking creatures. But the greys are a very common representation of this: beings with big heads, big eyes, small bodies, etc.